Prime Minister Kevin Rudd is under increasing pressure to explain how the government's PNG solution will work in the face of questions about both capacity and cost.
It comes ahead of the special Labor caucus meeting today to vote on Mr Rudd's proposed internal reforms as to how the party leader is chosen. So for the details, live to Canberra this morning to our chief political reporter, Kieran Gilbert. Kieran, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Nina. Morning, Michael. There are many questions being asked as to the cost, how long it's going to take to bring the Manus Island facility up to scratch. What happens to those found not to be genuine refugees but can't be sent home? Where will they be settled? So many questions. You get a sense of that through the coverage in today's newspapers as well. PM's boat plan starts to leak is the front page of the Australian. U-turn on boat people not costed. That's another issue that's being raised, and it's crunch time for Rudd is the front page of the Sydney Morning Herald. So all of the major papers looking at this issue and the questions that remain to be answered here. The Greens at one end of the political spectrum say it's a cruel option. The Coalition says the detail simply isn't there. Within Labor, though, there's very little dissent. Up until recently, this would have caused outrage, particularly in the left of the party, but so close to the election, we're not hearing much at all. And that comes, of course, ahead of today's special caucus meeting at the Balmain Town Hall. Our political reporter, Laura Jays, is there this morning. Laura, we're expecting some protesters outside, but not so much dissent inside.
No, well, this protest is planned for around 9:30 this morning, but organisers say there's only expected to be about 30 or 40 people protesting, but this will coincide with the beginning of this caucus meeting, and it will be loud enough for members to hear as they go into the town hall behind me. As you mentioned, there hasn't been a lot of dissent from the left of the party, very much falling into line. I spoke to some members of the left last night. One said that it wouldn't even be, or he wouldn't at least, even raise it at this meeting this morning. Another says, well, he thinks that faction of the party believes that something needed to be done. And as you point out, so close to an election, there is a real message here that they need to be unified as they move towards that election date. Now, party reform will also be voted on today. As I understand it, there will be a number of motions. There'll be motions on each of the changes proposed by Kevin Rudd, and then there will be a vote. So the changes will include, of course, those new rules around electing the leader and how the leader can be ousted. Also others like automatic expulsion for allegations of corruption, now disallowing property developers to stand as candidates, for example. So that meeting to get underway this morning at 10 a.m. There will be a number of motions, but it's also worth pointing out today as well, Kieran, that Kevin Rudd would need to visit Yarralumla and the Governor-General's house this afternoon if there is going to be an August 24 election date. At the moment, that is looking unlikely, shaping up, though, for later on in August.
Yeah, certainly looks unlikely given that timeline. Thank you, Laura. And finally, Michael and Nina, Treasury expected to downgrade the growth forecast. This is in the Australian newspaper again this morning. This is expected in the pre-election economic statement that the Treasurer and the government is working on. So Mr Bowen has committed that this PNG approach would be revenue neutral. It will also, the government, have to find other savings if they're going to meet that timeline for a return to surplus of 2015-16. Given this report today, if this is accurate, the Treasury is going to revise down growth and that the budget deficit will be up. They'll have to find savings elsewhere too if they're going to meet that elusive goal.
Kieran Gilbert in Canberra. Good talking to you, Kieran. Thank you.